Welcome to the Level Up Leadership Show. My name is Mike Melnick. I hope that you've been enjoying the MVC network today. Make sure to like us and follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. These leadership episodes are really designed to help you grow as a leader. And let's be honest, we can all afford to grow as leaders. Margaret Thatcher said this: "Don't follow the crowd, let the crowd follow you." But if you want the crowd to follow you, you better know where you're going. That's the job of a leader, to know where you are heading and to lead people there. And this is what I've found from leading. The leader doesn't have to always be the smartest person in the room, but you do need to know where you're going. And I don't know about you, but that concept of not having to be the smartest person in the room really helped me as a leader. I mean, let's be honest, that's a lot of pressure, all right, to feel like you have to have all the answers all the time. And if you think that you have all the answers all the time, why would you ever waste time and money hiring great leaders? I mean, you could just hire morons and have them carry out all of your wonderful ideas and answers. But if you do that, you're missing out on groundbreaking inventions, ideas, and initiatives. Not to mention the pressure that puts on you as a leader to have all the answers, and I just couldn't do it. When you release yourself from that and you decide to hire great people who may be smarter than yourself, what you have done is you have instantly improved your department, your organization, or company. See, it's not good enough just to hire smart people. It's a good idea, it's a good place to start, but that's not enough. See, or just to be in the same room as smart people. What you need to do as a leader, after you hire that very smart and gifted and talented leader, you need to create a team atmosphere. You barking orders at people is not a team. Not only is it not a team, is you will lose great leaders and smart people if that's what you do. Today, I want to talk to you about collaborative thinking within your team. Because collaborative thinking is what's going to propel your business, your organization, and your department into great success, all right? See new revenue streams and see that bottom line increase when you foster collaborative thinking. So today we're going to look at 9 ways to foster collaborative thinking. Number 1, you need to have a clear and compelling cause, all right? To create cohesion, team members must be provided with a convincing reason to be a part of the company and mission. Do you have a great mission statement? Does the people and the team members that work for you, do they know what that mission is? Do they know where you're headed? All right? Now, this is where you as the leader are expected to shine. All right? This is where you have to come up with a compelling cause for people to follow you. See, something people can really rally behind and give their life for. The more compelling and exciting the mission, the easier it is to inspire team members to want to be a part of what the company aspires to accomplish. People now more than ever want to be part of something that is going to impact this world. Clearly show them how this cause will change the world. When they are given a clear and gripping cause to be involved with, team members will naturally become as passionate about the goals and objectives as their leaders are. And that's what we want as leaders, right? We desire for our team members to be as passionate about the cause and about the mission as we are. And if team members do not care or are unclear about the goals and objectives presented to them, they will find all kinds of reasons not to work together. So it'll be up to you as the leader, okay, to determine, do they not care or are they unclear? All right? See, for collaboration to work, the vision and purpose, it has to be clear. All right, people need to know where they're going, and that is on you as the leader to have a number one, right, and that clear and compelling cause. It's up to you to make sure that it's clear, all right? And you need to determine within your staff, employees, and team members, is someone that's not quite pulling their weight within a team. Is it because they don't care, or is it because they are unclear on the mission? And that's something that you will have to determine moving forward. But for collaboration to work and have collaborative thinking, I have to have a clear and compelling cause. Number two, as the team leader, you need to have expectations. All right? Expectations are imperative in any job, business, or organization. The collaboration must be communicated to team members really as the minimum standard. All right, that this is how we work, this is how we operate as a team, that we have collaborative thinking. Meetings, no one gets up and excited about a meeting in the morning, but the fact is they're important, all right, to pull out those ideas and those next initiatives that you're going to take, as the team leader. So when hiring, this needs to be made clear. All right, when you're on the other side, all right, they're not quite a team member yet, and you're just hiring, you need to be clear what those minimum expectations are when it comes to working within your team and your context, that we are collaborative thinking. It's not optional, all right? And to foster this, team members must be provided with a defined individual and collective roles and responsibilities they will hold within the team. This is so needed for your team members so they can really understand their roles and responsibilities within that team, and to be made clear ahead of time what those are going to be. And when you set the expectations at the outset, it makes for a smoother working relationship. All right, everyone knows what's expected of them. It helps keep people in line. That employee, that team member, they know what's expected of them. And so if they get off track, they're not hitting their goals, they're not hitting, headed towards the mission of the organization or company, then you can bring them back into alignment, all right, down the road if need be. And this can also give you possibly grounds for dismissal, all right? If they are just so far out in left field and just refuse to live up to the clear responsibilities that you've given and the expectations, then you will have grounds for dismissal. When they have a clear understanding of their position, each team member will work more effectively, okay? Without accidentally stepping on another person's toes. And that's the last thing you want, is within a team members be stepping on each other's toes, double working, thinking I need to get, this done, but then someone else over here did it, and it's confusing and it's frustrating for teams. So, when you have a clear understanding of that position, all right, each team member, they will work more effectively. They won't have crossover. Things won't be getting dropped or doing double work, all right? And it helps creating or not creating unforeseen conflicts. So this helps in so many different ways. Because in a collaborative environment, each team member experiences what it means to take part in the shared responsibility of results. And with this type of focus, what starts out as a goal can become a crusade, all right? And it goes from a goal to a crusade to this is what we're going to do, this is where we're going, and we are going to do everything humanly possible to get there. With the experience of success changing from an individual achievement into a bonded group experience, building camaraderie and morale and just that sense of team is just going to create more energy, passion, and results for your organizations, your companies, and your businesses. to help you foster collaborative thinking, you need to set expectations clearly. Number 3, establish team goals. How will your teams ever know if they are successful if there's no goals? All right, to drive success in team members, it's important to set measurable goals for each one of your team members on a quarterly basis. You need to have benchmarks. You need to have places and benchmarks that employees and team members that they can measure up against to know if they're being successful, right? There's nothing worse than not knowing if your boss is happy, all right? Or happy or not. Is my boss happy with my, productivity? Am I hitting goals? Am I not hitting goals? And there's just nothing worse than an employee just wondering, are people happy with me? Are my supervisor, managers, CEOs, executive, president, are they happy with my work or not? All right, so that's why you need to have sales targets. These benchmarks for your employees to manage and to put their work up against. Is it customer acquisitions, referrals, marketing goals, something that they know what to shoot for. The purpose of these goals is to provide team members with achievable wins. All right, these wins have a magical way of breaking down barriers and creating positive momentum individually and collectively. Momentum is huge within a team. I'm going to do probably a whole episode on momentum, but momentum is huge within a team. It's hard to get and it's easy to lose. All right. So if you can set your team up for small little wins, it's going to create positivity and momentum. All right. Individually for those employees and team members, but collectively as a team, then as a department and business and company as a whole. Further, it's imperative to reevaluate goals and redirect whenever necessary. At each quarter's end, the outcomes of quarterly goals must be made available for the whole team to see. Did I measure up? Did I hit my goals? Did I hit my benchmarks? And then celebrate that progress. In 1979, Harvard did a goal-setting study. They took the class of 1979, and 84% of that entire class had set no goals at all. 13% of the class had set written goals but did not have complete or concrete plans. Only 3% of the class had written goals and concrete plans to follow. Well, the results, 10 years later, the 13% of the class that had written goals but not plans were making twice as much money as the 84% of the class had with no written goals. However, the kicker is the 3% of the class that not only had written goals but also had plans on how to see those goals come to pass were making 10 times as much money as the rest of the 97% of the class. Goals are huge. Expectations are huge, and you need to set them for your team. All right. Number 4, leverage team members' strengths. All right. Not everyone is created the same. Okay, not everyone has the same giftings and strengths, and when you're hiring, one of the things you need to do is make sure you don't hire, the same person with the same strengths and the same weaknesses and just have a carbon copy of 5 of them, right? You want to spread out those strengths and those weaknesses, all right, and then leverage the team members for their strengths. Okay, we all have different gifts, talents, abilities, but we also have different weaknesses as well. And it's a good idea to have each team member take a personality test, such as the Myers-Briggs or an Enneagram, and hold a round table with your team to share the results. And this will be a great way for your team members to learn about themselves, but also to learn about, their coworkers and their teammates, and and to really, again, build a bond in these team members and within your teams in a much deeper way. And it also gives team members information, okay, about who to go to for what, based upon each person's individual strengths. All right, and so if you know that Sally is great with public speaking, okay, but Tom is not, well, you're not going to give Tom a public speaking platform, to present a huge project and presentation, that your whole department is hinged on. Okay, you're going to go with Sally, who is great public speaker. That's not to say that you don't work with Tom and help him grow in his presentation skills and public speaking, but that's doing a big project where a lot of money's on the line is not the time or place to do it. But you need to leverage those team's strengths, or those team members and their strengths. Because the last thing you want to do as a team leader is assign someone something that they're not gifted in. And then they're just going to feel like a failure. And like I said, there's moments and times to teach and to help people learn. And if that's what a certain project is for, is meant for one of your team members to grow in a certain area, let them know at the outset, hey, this area I've noticed is one of your weaker points. Let's work on it. I'm going to give you a small project that is going to force you to help you to learn and to grow in this area. But just don't throw a project at someone that is one of their weaknesses. And and when you do that, that personality test, that Myers-Briggs or the Enneagram, it just really helps people to understand their gifts, their strengths. And for you as a team leader, when you're assigning projects and assignments, it's really going to help you in the long run. So, all right, number 5, foster cohesion between team members. All right, this is really important. Cohesive teams are more successful. Always, cohesive teams are more successful. You can have all the talent in the world on a team, but if there's a project that requires you to work together and these team members just will not work together, it's going to be a disaster. All right, they are successful teams. Cohesive teams are successful because each person on the team is included in as many large decisions as possible. This is important as a team leader, to bring in your teams for as many large decisions as you possibly can. Because when team members feel this type of inclusion, they feel, right, and know that they have significance and feel that significance in their role, causing them just to naturally perform better. A great way to foster cohesion within a team is to get together outside of the workplace. All right, outside of your business, outside of the 9 to 5 or whatever hours you operate, and take your team golfing, go out for dinner, bowling, some kind of non-work related activity, and a place where they can loosen up and get to know each other. This is only going to help your team be more cohesive. All right, and then when you have those collaborative thinking meetings, people are going to be more open to share things, all right? Because a lot of times, your team members are scared to share an idea because they perceive it as maybe, well, what if someone doesn't like it? What if it's really not a good idea and I haven't really thought it through? And they might not share as much. But when you have a cohesive team, all right, and they know each other well, they're going to be willing to open up more and share more, and you're just going to get so much more out of your teams as a leader. Number 6, encourage innovation. For teams to grow, they must be encouraged to brainstorm and question the status quo in an open, non-judgmental environment. All right? So if you want to have collaborative thinking, you can't squash and make people feel stupid for their ideas. All right? If you're leading a team, you want your team thinking, dreaming, and innovating of what could be. Team members must be coached and led to believe the challenges and obstacles that they face can and will be overcome. When you have this can-do attitude that is instilled in team members, it motivates the team members to live up to those can-do expectations. It is also important to ask team members for their thoughts, their reasoning, and ideas on a regular basis. The more connected and understood they feel to their manager, supervisor, leader, the more motivated they will be to perform, impress, be creative, and exceed those expectations. America was built on our innovation. You want to do everything you can to let your team dream, create, and innovate. And you as the leader are going to take new ground for your business, for your department, and you're only going to see your business expand and grow when you unleash your team to dream and create and innovate. All right, number 7, keep promises. All right, keep promises. Most requests and promises are held sacred within a team, but considered optional between other company units or sometimes even customers. Taking a request from a customer seriously and demonstrating that the team is working to do what they can, everything they can, goes a long way towards building trust and blurring boundaries. All right? The question every customer and every business asks of another is, can I count on you? Right? You and your business, you need to count on a supply chain to get you the products that you need to make, create, or services to provide for someone else. And you ask yourself, will you be there when I need you? Will you be there when I need you? When I need a shipment quickly? When I run a catering business and I need a food shipment and you are a food distributor. You know what? That restaurant, that catering company, they want to know, can I count on you? Do you care about this as much as we do? And if your company builds computers, all right, and your video card manufacturer doesn't care about your company, you're in trouble. You want people and you want to be in business with people that care about it as much as you, that will be there when you need them to be. All right? And so as so you as a business owner, as a leader, team leader, and maybe you supervise a department, and you need to make sure that you keep your promises not only to your customers, all right, but you need to keep your promises to other businesses and to those manufacturers, and to, you need to be a man or a woman of trust. That you say you're going to ship a shipment and an order somewhere at a certain time, and it's, hey, we all make mistakes, okay? That's not what I'm talking about, all right? But when you say, hey, I'm going to ship you this, it's going to be there by Friday, you need to ship it needs to be there by Friday, or you're going to see your revenue streams begin to fade real quick. You're going to see your customers, jumping ship and finding somewhere else. That, whatever it is you do, whether you're in sales, customer service, it doesn't matter, that you need to keep your promises. It's imperative, all right? And keep your promises to those teammates, all right? To the teams that, you say you're going to do something that hey, you hit this project, you hit this deadline, and you make a promise. You have to be able to keep your promise. It's imperative when working within a team, all right? Number 8, encourage people to socialize outside of work. This is big, all right, because it kind of goes along with the point a couple of points ago about that cohesion of a team. And when you socialize outside of work, people drop their barriers when you're out for dinner, when you're bowling, golfing, when you're doing some kind of sport activity, maybe you're on the mini golfing, or whatever the activity is. Okay, and you are socializing outside of work. One, you have conversations outside of the workplace that you probably won't have inside of the workplace, just because of sheer time, your comfortability, Your environment really sets the stage for how you socialize with people. So you socialize one way, when you're on the grounds, when you're, at your place of business, right? When you're at work, you socialize and talk, even in the break room, even when you're on lunch and you're not, on, so to speak. You still socialize and talk differently than you would when you're on the golf course, when you're out for dinner, when you're hanging out as a team outside of that workplace. And let me tell you, when you socialize with your team outside of the workplace, it begins to break barriers down. Like I said, you have different conversations than you would at the workplace. And when you have those interactions outside, you get to know people on a different level. And every team, it's the year 2020, all right? And the workforce is different than it was 20 or 30 years ago. And people want to be a part of a team, and they know who the boss is, but they don't need them lording it over them all the time. And they want to get to know their bosses, their managers, their supervisors, okay? And when you as a boss, manager, supervisor, CEO, and you socialize with your team, I'm not saying every single Friday night you need to go out. I'm just saying, at some point you need to get outside of that workplace, socialize, have conversations with them. They're gonna get to know you better. And when they get to know you better and your heart and understanding of who you are, guess what? They're gonna follow you better, all right? They're going to, it's only going to create a stronger bond within the team, all right? And this is always, all this that we're talking about today is going back to collaborative thinking. Okay? And when they know you better, then they know the thought patterns of where you want to go, what the mission is for your company, and it's going to really fuel those collaborative thinking sessions. Number 9, finally, is recognize, reward, and celebrate collaborative behavior. All right? The legends of athletic dynasties or standout corporate successes consist of incredible collaborative efforts. All right? Team members often sit in conversation reminiscing over how it all came together. All right? See, whether it was shared through a video, a newsletter, a podcast, or maybe it was an annual report or a seminar, stories of great collaboration break down the walls of individualism and honor the collective accomplishment. All right, that you get what you brag on, okay? And you need to be bragging on, all right, the collective collaboration, the accomplishments of the team. There's, yes, we need to honor, those team members who stand out, those team members who go above and beyond, right? And you brag on them, you're going to get that, but you also need to be bragging on the team as a whole. And when you attaching performance rewards and bonuses to collaborative efforts, what it does is it sends the right message. All right, it sends the right message to those team members about the values that are driving your business. And that is collaborative thinking and teamwork. Establish a collaborative environment is just the beginning of a more successful venture. For collaboration to work, it must be consistent and purposeful, with resources and rewards dedicated to its success. You may have many standout success stories in your company already, but you can increase your productivity exponentially by getting them to work together as a collaborative team. When team members feel that they are part of something exceptional, they are more than willing to work together to get the ball across that goal line. See, collaboration works because there is nothing more meaningful, bonding, or growth promoting than a shared win. Man, you need to be pushing your teams to be teams that are about collaborative thinking. Because if you desire to have a successful team, you encourage, foster, and practice collaborative thinking. Well, that's all that we have today for Level Up Leadership. I hope you enjoy the rest of MVC Network today.